Morning. Happy Revenge of the 5th or Cinco de Mayo. Either one. It is 10 a.m. It is May 5th, 2023. I'm Sensei Mish, and this is Morning Tea with me. Yeah. Okay. I've already been drinking my tea, so it's like 2/3 there. I thought I would start off this morning, and my phone, of course, is over on the charger there, so I'm going to get it here in a second. I was scrolling through TikTok, just wasting time this morning, and somebody had posted a Star Wars, how well do you know Empire Strikes Back, 10 lines. So I paused, I was like, I'm going to pause it. So we're going to see how well I know these lines. Now, I know I'm a huge Star Trek fan, but we're going to see Star Wars because I do know that these are, this is the May. Yes, Rob, good morning. So let me get my phone and we'll see how well I know these lines. Okay. So there's the video. Let me see. I'll turn this. I don't know how loud this will be, but I'll turn this up and then we'll play. And basically, let's see. The text on the screen says, I'm going to play 10 clips. You're going to have 3 seconds to finish or say the next line. Okay. So we'll try this out.
Line. Each correct answer counts for 1 point. Duet or let me know how you did in the comment section. I love you.
I know.
I know. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No.
I am your father.
I am your father. Laugh it up, fuzzball. But you didn't see us alone in the South Passage. She expressed her true feelings for me.
Why, you stuck up,
Scruffy-looking nerf herder.
half-witted,
Oh,
scruffy-looking
half-witted.
nerf
Okay.
herder.
You don't have to do this.
Half a point.
Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Tell me, never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Those are related to our presence. Admiral Oswald came out of light speed too close to the system.
He felt surprised, was wiser.
He is clumsy as he is stupid.
As clumsy as he is stupid.
I love that line.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No. Why not?
Do not. There is no try.
Do. Or do not. There is no try. There will be a substantial reward for the one who finds the Millennium Falcon. You are free to use any methods necessary, but I want them alive.
No disintegrations.
No disintegrations. Told you I did. Reckless to see. Now, matches are worse. That boy is our last hope. No.
There is another.
There is another.
I don't think so. I'm looking for a great warrior.
Great warrior.
Great war. Wars not make one great.
Wars not make one great.
That was never a condition of our agreement, nor was giving hand to this bounty hunter.
Perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly? No. Good. It would be unfortunate if I had to leave the garrison here.
This deal is getting worse all the time.
It was getting worse all the time.
Oh, okay.
How well do you know the dialogue from
All
the
right.
Empire Strikes?
So not bad. 9.5 because the scruffy looking Half-Witted. I forgot the Half-Witted. So how well did you do? I mean, I thought that was pretty fun. I think we should do that stuff for like Star Trek stuff. Maybe I'll put together something for or either find something on the internet. We'll do that for in September, on September 8th for Star Wars Day. So, or Star Trek Day. Anyway, yeah, so the week has been a week. Let's see. We scored the same. Very cool. And G Baker, I don't know if you're still on here. May the 4th be with you as well. There is it's been an interesting week. I wouldn't say so. Very cool. What was it? Was it last Friday? No. So Saturday we did a big because I was making popcorn last Friday after this. I ended up, okay. So I'm sorry, my brain is just kind of melting because I've got one thought going on and then another thought. So last Friday, I popped popcorn throughout the day. And I was trying to prepare for 400 bags of popcorn. I actually ended up at 3 a.m. Saturday morning. I stopped at 3:50 because just with all the different things I needed to do, it just took me all day. So we do this fair. I have a couple classes. I teach the kids classes, but hand out stuff. So it was pretty fun. But one of the really cool things, really cool things is that from the fair on the first, no, not the first was when he did his free lesson. The fair from the Friday before, I had gotten a free lesson. I don't know if I had mentioned that somebody had signed up for a free lesson. And so they did their free lesson on Monday and they signed up. So I go to this, I go hand out popcorn at an elementary school and I get a student. So, and I think that's one of the advantages of, just kind of putting yourself out there and really interacting with people outside the dojo, promoting the school. So I think that was kind of fun. I haven't taken any pictures because I wanted to take a picture when it was like fully painted, but it was raining all day yesterday. I might take a picture today, but the building is painted. The sign has come down, like my box sign has come down. The building is painted and we're just waiting for my sign to go up. So don't know when it's going to go up. It was supposed to rain today. Painters or the sign people know that it's ready, but I don't know how. Like, I turned off the power to the sign, but one of the things is that they patched off all the holes. So there's like, how are they going to get to the wire? Like, are they going to run all new wire? Like, I need to be there for them to do that. So I don't know. So yeah, I don't know when they're putting up the sign. I haven't been notified at all. This is all through the landlord. So the landlord is, she'll do that. So I'm just, hopefully I get to see the sign go up, but if I don't, it's not the end of the world. Anyway, so I may, after this, just go up and hang out at the school and do stuff. I don't know. I have other things I need to do. I do need to clean. I do need to do some cleaning like I always do. I have a Zoom tonight so the one thing that I'm trying to build up is my online modular class. So So it's one of those where, and a lot of people don't think that you can learn knife online, but if you have a partner and you guys share the fee, it's $109. We meet on Fridays, 5 p.m. my time. That would be 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. So anyway, we got that going. Yeah. So, good question. I would hope that they would just fish the old wells. I would think so too, but like they patched over, and then they painted. So I don't know. I mean, I don't mind if they have to run all new wire, like but I just know I need to be there for that. So it is what it is. And yes, I am running a business. It's, it's my livelihood, all that jazz. But I don't know. So by now, most people have received their book. Now, this is a limited edition copy, but most people have received their book. I have not received my books yet. In fact, let's go. Like sometimes I can go and it'll be be like, surprise, it's shipped. It still says that my books that I will be, see, it still doesn't say that it's shipped. It should be arriving between the 9th and the 11th, which means limited edition copies won't be shipped out until at least the 12th. Let's see, May 12th. Oh, that's a Sunday. So that would be the 13th, May 13th. Nope, that's 2024. Why am I looking at 2024? That's crazy. So the 11th is, so the 9th is a Tuesday. So this is all next week. So if they haven't shipped already, it will most likely be the 11th. So I don't know. I get it back. It maybe on the 12th, maybe on the 15th, maybe on the 13th, because post office is still open on the 13th. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it just is what it is. Yeah, thank you, Rob. The 12th is a Friday. I was looking at the wrong tape. So I think I was just looking forward in time. I'm basically planning out. I've been slowly, because one of the things that I had been neglecting is my Kyushu Corner website. So I've been paying a little bit more attention to that. So yesterday I was on there playing, along with, and also because I was also looking to see what plugins specifically that site used, because I am working on HoganKarateInternational.com. So it was just kind of one of those things that just kind of happened, and so it is up. If you are an HKI person, if you are an instructor, go to the HKI members only page, or a group or whatever it is for on Facebook. I put a link on there. You can go on there, click, and enter in your school information, so it will actually go on the site. So there's a listing for all the schools, all the HKI schools. I think I've received, let's see, how many people? 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So far, maybe 10. No, I think it's maybe more than that. I don't know. I've got probably 10. So I've got a school list. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. I've got 10. So actually, it's more like 9 because I have Harvey. I know the name of Harvey's school and Harvey's name, but I just don't know any of the other information that he wants posted. But I've got all of Clay Pearson schools. I've got a bunch of Florida schools. And then I've got Albert in Tennessee. Yeah. So anyway, so we got people's going on there. But it is anyway, so I've been talking with Rob and Davey about just, kind of throwing ideas out there for what the site should look like, and not really look like. I'm just kind of doing something. It will probably change. And then what content needs to go on there. So, but it'll be an easy portal. So, because one of the concepts there is so just to help in membership and to give a portal for members to be able to go in and update information or get information or pay their dues. And actually it eventually it'll be set up so you just say you pay your due and it automatically renews every year and you don't even have to worry about it. So yeah, that's kind of how it is. So that's been kind of fun. I've got, I don't think I've shared this. Hold on. So Bobby, let's see if I can find this. Did I download it? So Bobby Stroop, he is, he and I've been, basically he's going to be doing the artwork for the kids' books. So I sent him a bunch of pictures and he drew me like a basic kind of out, what Dojo might look like. Is this it? Okay. So he did like a basic sketch. Okay. And then I'll share this here in a minute. And then he did a basic sketch. I was like, no, that's great. So then we talked on the phone and basically we talked about the characters and kind of talked about motivations and where they come from and all that kind of stuff. And some of the stories that I had come up with so far. And so he's like, okay, great. So he puts this together. This is actually pretty cool. I think we got a share window. So this is Dojo. So our main character, this is him in the beginning, and then he'll eventually get a Blackie top and like maybe little Hakama pants. But basically, so because he's a black cat, well, he's a tuxedo cat. So the little white V here is almost like, he's got his black will be his Blackie. So anyway, and then because he has white paws, you see here he's got little white paws and his paws are wrapped. This is so like, I am so impressed by this. I'm very, very excited. So anyway, that's kind of where that is. Stop sharing. So very excited. I thought that was way cool. And Lisa even likes it, which is also important. I don't know if Dojo likes it, but at least Lisa likes it. Yeah, it looks great. I love it. I'm actually really excited to, and that's just a first rendition. They will get better from there. So, because we're using Bram's cat Za. Za is going to be the basically the master. And then my cousin's cat Carl, and the other cat, my step granddad's step granddad, my stepfather's cat Willow, and then my son's cat. Anyway, so we're gonna have all these cats in there. Anyway, and yeah, so it's just gonna be really, really cool. I think I'm working towards Jim's book. I just finished editing Gary Rook's. He has a story in there. Super funny story. So it's actually pretty hilarious. So right now, if I look at let's see. Right now, total words right now collected, I have 30,000 words for his book so far. And some of them have been, I mean, that's total. I think and we're looking right now, we're at about 130 pages of content. So, and I haven't even done like, he still has like 3 or 4 countries. He still has like 3 or 4 countries to finish up. And I've got at least 45 minutes of audio from Mexico alone. So let's just say, I've been grouping them by, what is it? I've been grouping them by uploads. So, that was 3. Because if I go to, cancel. If I go here, and you guys can't see what I'm doing, but that's okay. So I have 15. So I have the 30,000 words. Okay. And I think that might include my introduction. But I have another 15,000 unedited words. And let's see. Oh, yeah, for the most part. So basically it'll be, and I got Denmark finished. And then going in, and then I'll be basically the next one I'll be starting is Norway. And Norway looks pretty long. And then there's Mexico, which the audio alone on Mexico is 40 minutes, is like 45 minutes. And then a couple forwards, and then we have Finland, and France. So it'll be, I think it'll be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. 30K is great for a collection of stories. Probably end around 45 with what's left would be my guess. Here's the thing is he's still got some more, which you're probably looking, okay, so 60. So it'll probably be close to about 60,000 words. I'm working with his brother Dwayne on editing. So I've got that all going, and they're actually still traveling. So I think they're going to be back next week, I think. So anyway, so that'll be pretty cool. It'll be great. So one of the things, and I will know exactly how many words there are, because now the master file is just I've edited and put it in there, and then so that's just total words. But when I put it in Publisher in Affinity, when I put it in there, I actually put it in a certain place, and I, either it's its own chapter, or it's its own, or it's part of a section. So like, we're basically breaking everything up into countries. So most of the contributed stories really are from the US. I do have some from other countries. So like, the US, of course, that's, where most of the people who contributed are in there. And then we have a couple people who have contributed from there, from other countries. I think I already said that. But when so in Publisher, that's the book. That's the book. So what I'm going to do from there is that once that section or chapter is finished, I will then copy and paste that into a new Pages document, because there will also be a Kindle version. So, and I'm going to see if I can't get it into an iBooks version. So we'll have Kindle and iBooks and a print. So there'll be a couple different ways to get this book, because it is more of, it's a book. It's a book of stories, as to a book of, like, book of techniques. So, and my latest Q-Show Corner episode, talking about that, I actually, I couldn't really think of anything. I'm coming close to the end of this season. My son is injured, so I've got like, how many episodes do I want to do? So I think if I end this season with 30 episodes, I need to come up with 2 more episodes. And so I don't know what those will be. I'll figure it out. I don't want to make them boring, but I do have this whole list, and I think, and this will, I think I've decided on what episode 200 is going to be. And so it's going to be another, another interview based, episode. And I really don't know how long it's going to be. Like my knockout one was like over 30 minutes. And I was like, yay. Depending on the content, the Q-Show one could probably be more than that, which would really be cool. I don't know if I'd want to put it out as a multi-part episode. What I might do, I could put it out as one big episode for episode 200, and then break it down into more watchable, like, 10-minute episodes or 10-minute, things. Yes, it is what I'm talking about. I don't want to give the topic away yet, because I've thrown out a bunch of different topics, but because I'm still kind of formulating what I want, but yes. And I think it would be more 45 minutes, because the other thing, I was thinking about this the other day. I want to, as part of episode 200, I want to get McDojo Life's, Rob from McDojo Life. I don't know his last name. But anyway, I want to have him I want to interview him as part of this episode. So I think it'll be really interesting. And if I could, I don't know how I'd work it out. I'd love to interview him in person instead of over the screen. I think he lives in Jacksonville. So if I could work it out, I could probably like get together with him when I'm in Jacksonville, but I don't like time and all that kind of stuff. I just don't know how that's going to work. Rob McDojo, not Ray. Yeah, no, it's not Rob. It's not Rob on here. It is Rob from McDojo Life. I just don't know his last name. Anyway, so I think it would make for a good episode, I think. So I'll probably in the next couple months start reaching out to people and then once I have like a topic and a plan, anybody who wants to be like, yeah, I'd love to be interviewed, then we can either do it here or when I'm in Indiana or in Jacksonville, we can interview or we can do it that way. So yeah. So there you go. Let's see. So I, one thing this is an observation I made, on Saturday is like, we had our booth. Okay. Free popcorn. I had a little sticker on the bag because I didn't have access to power. So I had to pre-bag everything. So we had a little sticker on the bag, had a QR code with our school, with the website on it, our name, telephone number, all that kind of stuff. So, they, people were able to take that with them. A couple booths down was a chiropractor, but not a chiropractor. They were representing a chiropractic clinic, and which I was, when they started showing up, I was like, because they had like the back skeleton, like back skeleton and some signs, and I was like, oh, dude, I said, are you guys gonna have a what do you call it, a bet? Are you gonna be cracking people for $10? I'll pay $10. You can totally crack my back. And
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
No. I'm sorry. Damn Siri. Anyway, so I asked them, so are you gonna have a bet? Are you gonna be, popping people? And they're like, no, we're just sales reps for this chiropractic group. And they were selling packages like $20, gets you a couple, consultation, and then, a couple sessions. And then they have all these other packages that you could build from there. And people were buying, but I know it was, I know it's a way to get leads, but I don't know. I wouldn't have gone up to them to talk about, like, if they're just selling stuff, I just would have walked right by. Even if they're like, hey, you want to, no, I'm not that. But are people going to come up and get free popcorn? Yeah. I had a ton of people come up and get free popcorn, and they're like, is it free? Who are you guys? Like, it really sparked that conversation. In fact, I even had the PTA president from Furcrest come up And she's like, "Hey, I got your email. I'm sorry I forgot to, I haven't responded." But it was one of those where, it's I'm not trying to sell anything. I mean, yes, I am trying to get new students, but it's not like I'm not being pushy. Um, I don't know. It was just a different way. It was a different way to look at things, and had some really good conversations with people about, um, you know, and I mean, if everybody showed up, that would be awesome. But it is what it is. You get, they get to know me out, like, just like it, that it's getting to know me and the school outside of the school. So it's really kind of, and I know I want to eventually turn the school into a systemized where I'm not on the floor all the time. But like right now, I'm the only instructor. I am the instructor. So yeah. Um, best way to potential clients is through their stomach with free food. Absolutely. All right. Not sure what she didn't get about getting your back cracked. It feels good and add an inch to your height. Well, I was like, were they going to have a bed here? And it was like, nope, we're just selling packages. And I told him, I said, what you need to do. I actually told him this. You need to get one, because it was a chiropractic group. So there were like 5 offices, a bunch of different doctors. And I was like, what you need to do is actually get them down, because here's the thing. If I go to a craft fair, or say I go somewhere and a chiropractic clinic or a chiropractor has a, they have a booth and they're like, crack your back for $10 or whatever, I will pay $10. I will have my back cracked. And I'll be like, God, that felt really good. How do I get more of this? Yeah. Oh, I was talking about Surrey with the back. Oh, got it. Okay. But yeah, I mean, you like, and there were some people coming up. It's like, oh, well, you should have like people come and break boards and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, but we don't break boards in class. Like, if we do any type of board breaking, it's when it's a little bit further up when we work on energy generation and projection. And I have some rebreakable boards, but we don't just break boards. Like, what is it? I remember years and years and years ago, I was at a carnival, school carnival. My wife and I were basically scoping it out because we were running the PTO at our school and at the elementary school. And we were trying to basically figure out how we could do something similar. And there was a martial arts booth, and they were breaking boards, and then the person got a prize. And then they'd sign people up. And I was like, and somebody's like, oh, you should do something like that. I don't break boards. Like, what boards don't, what did, was it, oh shoot. Was it Karate Kid 1 or Karate Kid 2 where like Miyagi says, boards don't attack people, something like that. Yeah, that's kind of, boards don't, like, yeah. Boards don't hit back. Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah. One of my, one of my friends, one of my wife's friends, she has a kid, got him into martial arts when she was like, oh, well, cause they went somewhere, the kid broke a board, was like, I got to break a board. Ah. And then he gets into this program, multi-month contract. And then he ends up getting his black belt. I think he was like 9 or 10. He gets his black belt, which is a whole different story. Not once did he break a board his entire little white to black career, and they were like, scam. All right. Andrew, welcome to the show. Let's see. Hello. Is it true that in California you can steal under $900 in stores and security can't even touch you and you won't get punished? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I am not in California. So don't know what the laws are in that. I know in Washington here, they have changed. I don't know if it's state. I think it's probably state, that like if, and this was told to me by a cop, that if they're like, they have a burglary or whatever, and you have a description of somebody and you're on your way to the call and you see somebody, like they may have even said, my TV was stolen. This is what the TV, like they give a perfect description of the bad guy and what the bad guy took. And on the way to the call, you see somebody who looks like the bad guy carrying the stolen stuff, that they can't stop. They can't stop them to question them, which I think is absolutely absurd, but I don't know. I know Washington is slowly becoming California, but we are not there yet. Hopefully we will never get there fully, but yeah, in answer to your question, Andrew, I have no clue. So I go to California once a year, and it's in the nicer part of the San Francisco area. And yeah, and we don't talk about rules like that. So sorry. Wish I could help you. Rob, wouldn't recommend stealing or assuming security won't do anything, even if they aren't supposed to by policy or law. Yeah, because when I worked for Hollywood Video, we weren't supposed to run after people who stole our DVDs, but I did. In fact, I would walk around I actually carried a baton in my pocket, an expandable baton. I carried one in my pocket. And I remember going up to some guy, and because at one point, because we used to have the discs behind, at one point we had the DVDs behind. So you bring up the box, we take out the DVD, put it in the thing, and then let you take it home. And then they came up with the lockables, so you had the DVD was in the box, and then you had this little purple lock that locked the Amaray case together. And then, but I walk up on this guy, and he's slicing the back seam and then taking the disc out. And so I walk up, and he slices, I catch him slicing this thing, and I'm like, hey, I was like, what you doing? And he turns, and it was a box cutter, and he just kind of turns it on me like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I pull out my baton. I go, I said, you want to play? We can play. And he dropped everything and ran out of the store. I don't know if I got talked to about that, but I did get talked to about running after people, because at the time the DVDs only cost $4 a piece, but as a manager, we were charged $20 from our bonus. So our bonus started at a certain amount, and then as your theft or shrink went down, then you would lose money on your bonus. And of course, if it got to zero, it just got to zero. So we actually told our district manager that as long, take $4 out of our bonus, which I think was stupid anyway. But take $4 out of our bonus and not 20 or 25. Then we will stop running after these people. But until then, we'll continue to run. So usually when we had an event, we would run after people, and our district manager would be like, okay, guys, you really shouldn't be doing this, but I want to see video. so yeah. Sensei Emmett, how are you, sir? How's my week been? It's been pretty good. I mean, it's been a week. I want to say it's been productive, but it hasn't. Like, I don't know. It's just been a week. Nothing majorly spectacular has happened. That I'm working on projects. I am got my book. They still aren't here. John, sir, how are you? Good morning. So yeah, this is one of those things. Let's see. I think so. So the kids' books, when we get to the kids' books, that's artwork in progress. I've got, I think though, and this was, and I don't know if I talked about this last week or not, but one of my students was asking about what is it? Getting, about like capturing stills from the video for his personal notes, and because for the videos that I have in the student section of my website. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I think one of my next projects, the next book project, will be a personal school related, but of course have it out there for everybody if they want. But it'll be something that for students to be able to purchase. So it'll be basically a curriculum book. And I'll just go year by year. So the entire curriculum won't come out all at once, but it'll just go year by year. And I think what I might do is, depending on how big each book is, I might end up doing like a year by year, and then having just one big, like the complete curriculum from white to black. So Morgan, good morning, sir. How are you? I always view a week as 168 hours, and not one will I waste. I've been on a very disciplined routine the past year. Good. I have a routine. I get off my routine, and then I get back on my routine again, but I need to kind of fine tune. So I like your thought process. Cause it's funny. And I don't know, I actually kind of like that. You just look at it as 168 hours, and how can I fill that time being productive? Yeah, I like it. Thank you, Emmett. You routinely rotate routines. Yeah, I guess you could put it that way. That's kind of what I do. Last year around this time, I didn't like, my routine was not routine. I got, I would get up, like I'd wake up at like 9 or 10 or something like that, and just kind of go about my day. And I was not being productive. And then in August, I went down to It's Time Live with Brandon Beliso, and I came back, and like I had a routine. Like I'd wake up, I get up by 7, I start my day at 7:30, and I have like, 30-minute blocks. And then I have like the basic stuff out of the way. And then I have kind of the rest of the day to do whatever I need to do. it's funny because like when my daughter-in-law's schedule changed, she's like, oh, well, you know, can you take care of take care of James during the week? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what days? So so essentially I have him every other Monday for just a couple hours, and then every Tuesday. And I think this next Tuesday I'll have him, or next Friday. So James will be on the show next Friday. That completely throws off my routine because he constantly needs attention. So it's just like, yeah. But I am always doing something school related. Like I wake up, I do like my morning routine. I wake up, I do my billing, all my stuff. I might have something on the TV as background noise, but I'm always doing that. And then I did get out a couple times in the last couple weeks. I did mow, so I've been trying to keep the house looking nice. I did mow. Did some weeding, you know, get out, get some vitamin D. But like I'm at the school, I'm either working on curriculum, or I'm training myself, or I'm working on a book, or like I'm always doing something school or and it's kind of funny when you look at the fact, and when you look at like, so like going back to my daughter-in-law, she was like, I was like, well, I don't really know, like I'll have to see how he fits, you know, how I could make him, you know, taking care of him fit into my day. And she's like, well, what time do you go to the school? And it's like, okay, this isn't a 40-hour gig. Like, you know, I go to the school when I go to the school. Sometimes it's at 3 p.m. Sometimes it's at 10 a.m. Like, it is what it is. I don't know. Like it all kind of depends on what is planned for the day. Because very 40-hour gig mindishness. But it is what it is. So anyway, so I need to, but when I think of like, when people say, oh, you need a vacation, or you need to take time for yourself, or you need to do this, I think really the only time that I would really need to take is time away from like teaching. But I like to teach. So I kind of look at it as, you have a 40-hour gig, you go to work, you hate your job, or maybe you love your job. But then it's like, oh, okay, I'm home, I can watch TV, or I'm home and I hang out with the family. Or I'm home and then I do my work and I come home and I have that separation. For me right now, especially in the first couple of years of running a business, like that's my life, like 24 hours a day. Last night I slept. No, I did sleep, but I dreamt about curriculum. like I dreamt about putting this curriculum book together. Like yeah. So it's, yeah, it's just weird that way. Okay. The real formula is 24 hours times 7 days times 52 weeks times your age minus 80 years. According to this, I have less than 500,000 hours left to live. Oh, okay. So let's see. Let's see that formula here. 24 times 7 times 52 times, let's see, times, I'll just say 51. Okay. And then it said minus 80. Now, is it minus 80 years or is it just minus 80? Okay. Well, that's, I don't know. That's so I guess I have, or is, no, if you are, okay, hold on, wait. No, if you are likely to live until 80. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Got it. Okay, I think I got it, Morgan. I think I got it. So we do 24 times 7. Okay, hold on. So 80 minus 51. So 24 times 7 times 52 times 29. Let's see. You have less than 500,000 hours left. Well, if I say that I'm 51 and I'm likely to live till 80, then that's how many hours I have left until I'm 80. So 250,000 hours. Got to fill those somehow. But anyway, so that's just, I don't know. That's just kind of one of my things that I've been, you know, right now, my life is work. And I would not change the stress for anything. I love teaching. I love being creative. I love and being creative, not just creating, not just creating books, but creating a business, because it's not just sitting down and going, oh, okay, well, you know, this came out here and this came out here, and, you know, and doing the bills and the email, but like creating relationships, creating systems, creating like building the foundation of a business. Because in 5 years, I would like to be able to not have to teach every day. I want to be able to be like say Jim Korn is still around and he's still flying and he's still going to Norway and Denmark and Germany, like Poland, like where he's at right now. Like probably if he goes next year, I really want to go next year. But I'll probably have to finagle and be like, okay, can you, you know, whoever I have as my, I'll put that out there for you, for John. So, so this is the formula. So I'd have to finagle, figure out, okay, who do I have, who can teach here, who can teach there? How can, you know, and, you know, how long will I be gone? Can I get away with closing down the school for 2 weeks and not pissing a lot of people off? Like making plans like that. But in 5 years, I can just be like, I'd have the staff to be able to be like, hey, I'm going to take 2 weeks off. I'm going to Europe. Or I'm taking 2 weeks off. I'm going to Florida. Or they're like, hey, we want you to teach a seminar this weekend. And I just fly off to wherever it is to teach the seminar. And I don't have to worry about how the classes are going to be taught, because I have enough students to be able to afford one or two people, at least bare minimum, to cover those classes. So I don't like that. I can just go. So that's my goal is, and like when you think, oh, okay, you know, at what student number would I need to be at to be successful? You know, we talk about, you know, 100 students, 200 students. I think Brandon has 2 schools and they're probably, I don't know, he hasn't posted his numbers in a while, but like 900, 950, close to 1,000 students. I mean, he clears 2 million, he cleared almost $2 million last year with 2 schools. So that's, I mean, that's impressive. That's absolutely impressive. My success, or what I would see successful, is owning a school and having the option to teach or not, or basically owning a school and then having that option to just be able to take off to teach seminars anywhere at any time. That's kind of where, you know, is that time off or an R&D tax write-off? That came in during my stream of consciousness or my flow. I don't know exactly, like, it all kind of depends. Like, for me, when I was working security, I never really took vacations. I took time off to go do martial arts stuff, which to me was a vacation. But like, say this coming October, my plan, I'm going to go to Indiana, hang out with Jim Corrin. Then we're going to drive to Jacksonville and hang out with the Jacksonville folk. And then I'm going to fly home. So I'll probably be gone maybe a week, week and a half. This is something that I'm like preparing my students for. When it comes to that, I've got, what is it? When it comes to that, like, that's to me kind of a vacation. I get to hang out with my friends that I don't get to see all the time. I will probably see some sites. Jim has promised, not really necessarily promised, he just said, we will try, which I will push for the try, to go up to Bloomington because there's this, a monument or some thing to Janeway in Bloomington. And he goes, oh, that's just a couple hours away. I'll drive you up there. So, for Michelle, she often feels we've never had a vacation because I always just scheduled a trip with extra days around a martial arts event. Yeah. But see, what do people, that's really, how do you define vacation? Like, sometimes people define vacations as, I'm going off to relax and have fun. Well, for me, I'm like going to a martial arts seminar, seeing people I don't see, like I get to only see once a year, a couple times a year, maybe more if it's through video, but actually getting to see them in real, maybe seeing the sites, that to me, that is having fun and relaxing. I'm hanging out with my friends. Most people work that 40-hour gig and have to get away from work. And that get away from work is a vacation. It's just, how do you define it? I think that's really how it comes down to it. How do you define vacation? Okay, so Garrett, time is the most valuable resource we have. We get none of it back. not 1 millisecond. My point is that you cannot manage that which you cannot measure. In mowing, I have less than 5,000 or 500K hour. Yeah. 500,000 hours of life. If I'm likely to live to 80, forces me to know my self-worth and value and never be ashamed of making sure that value is met wherever life takes you. Yeah, that's a great viewpoint. Yeah. So, and when it comes to, I think when it comes to this, it's like my trip to Indiana is considered, continued education. It could be considered R&D or even a sales trip for Jim's book, because I'd like to have Jim's book done and finished by, and actually ready for sale by, what is it called? By that first weekend in October of his, for his camp. So, so yeah, that's just, and so that can all be, yeah, it'll all be, yeah. Anything martial arts books or books related to the tax write-off. Absolutely. I will be doing interviews while I'm in Indiana, while I'm in Jacksonville, for episode 200 of Q-Show Corner. So that is that's a business, like that's R&D. It's a write-off. So, so yeah. So yeah, I'm okay with that. All right. Let's see. I think that's all I got. My brain is actually starting to hurt. But you know what else? There's this taco truck that I've been waiting for it to open on. It's right next to the Dutch that I go to. But it's been just sitting there. It's supposed to be really good food. And so it's supposed to open today. My daughter is home from school. So, so yeah, we're going to go down there and get some tacos for, on Cinco de Mayo. Yay. But it really, what is it? It's Revenge of the Fifth. So, I think that's all the news that's fit to print. So anyone here, thank you for hanging out. Love to you all. Stay safe, live long and prosper. May the 4th be with you. And,